In America, everyone counts, and the 2020 census is how that great promise is kept. Respond today online, by phone, or by mail, and help inform hundreds of billions in funding for education, health programs, and more. Shape your future. Start at 2020census.gov. Donald Trump was in Kenosha, Wisconsin today, taking a survey of damage that was caused there by various riots in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Now, he went on the tour of this property damage by violence, blasting anti-American riots and promising to help devastated businesses rebuild. He announced the $1 million, but here's what he did, though. He announced $1 million going to Kenosha law enforcement and $4 million going to support local businesses affected by the violence, and $42 million to support public safety statewide, including support for law enforcement and prosecutors. Really? No mention at all of the cops in Kenosha who shot Jacob Blake in the back 7 times. Now, of course, his visit comes over the objections of local Democrats, with Governor Tony Evers, who has deployed the National Guard to help stop violence, saying Trump's presence, quote, will only hinder our healing. Now, listen to what Trump had to say.
Bill Barr is here someplace. Bill, thank you very much. And a man that just got a very strong promotion in a sense. Chad's here, so we're going to have some meetings. We're going to meet with some of the owners, and then we're going to have a round table, and I think you're going to be there. But we're going to work with you. We're going to help you. Okay, we'll help you rebuild. It's a great area. It's a great state. This should never happen. A thing like this should never happen. They have to call early. Okay, thank you. I'll see you over there. Thank you very much.
Y'all see any black people in that? Now, granted, Kenosha is 75% white, but according to Kendall West, who was on our show last week, he said most of the damage took place in the black part of Kenosha, in Uptown. Maybe that's the issue. Did black people even own those buildings? Or were they owned by white landowners?
Back to that Roland Unfiltered video in just one moment.
As our community comes together to support the fight against racial injustice, I want to take a second to talk about one thing we can do to ensure our voices are heard. Not tomorrow, but now. Have your voices heard in terms of what kind of future we want by taking the 2020 census today at 2020census.gov? Now, folks, let me help you out. The census is a count of everyone living in the country. It happens once every 10 years. It is mandated by the U.S. Constitution. The thing that's important is that the census informs funding, billions of dollars, how they are spent in our communities every single year. I grew up in Clinton Park in Houston, Texas, and we wanted new parks and roads and a senior citizen center. Well, the census helps inform all of that and where funding goes. It also determines how many seats your state will get in the U.S. House of Representatives. Young black men and young children of color are historically undercounted, which means a potential loss of funding for services that helps our community. Folks, we have the power to change that. We have the power to help determine where hundreds of billions in federal funding go each year for the next 10 years. Funding that can impact our community, our neighborhoods, and our families and friends. Folks, responses are 100% confidential and can't be shared with your landlord, law enforcement, or any government agency. So please, take the 2020 census today. Shape your future. Start at 2020census.gov.